I'll declare the meeting open at 5 p.m. and the Yorkshire Council acknowledges the Ballabong people of the Noongar Nation, who are the traditional owners of the country where this meeting is being held, and we recognise their continuing connection to land, water, sky and culture. We pay our respects to all those people and their elders, past, present and emerging. In accordance with Regulations 14L and 14J of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996, notice is given that this meeting is being video and audio recorded to facilitate community participation and for minute-taking purposes. By being present at the meeting, members of the public consent to the possibility that their image and voice may be recorded. Audio recordings are published on the Shire's website following the meeting and may be released upon request to third parties. Members of the public are reminded that in accordance with 6.16 of the Shire of York Local Government Council Meeting Local Law 2016, nobody shall use any visual or recording device or instrument for recording proceedings of council without the written permission of the presiding member. I wish to draw attention to the disclaimer notice contained within the agenda document and advise members of the public that any decisions made at the meeting today may be revoked in accordance with Regulation 10 of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996. Therefore, any members of the public should not rely on any decisions until formal notification in writing from the Shire has been received. Any plans or documents in agendas and minutes may be subject to copyright. The express permission of the copyright owner must be obtained before copying any copyright material. And with all that being said, welcome everyone to this meeting, which will be the last one for this council, as we're going to have an election coming up on the 18th, and we'll have a new council be sworn in sometime after the 18th. So staff, councillors and members of the public, welcome. We have no change to standing orders. We have no visitors. Any declarations of proximity interest? Nil. Any declarations of financial interest? Nil. Disclosures of impartiality interest? Nil. Attendance. We have myself, Shire President Kevin Trent, Councillor Chris Gibbs, Councillor Denise Smythe and Councillor Peter Wright. And amongst the staff we have Mr Chris Linnell and Ms Abby Parker, our Governance Officer. We have apologies from Councillor Dennis Warnick, the Deputy Shire President, Councillor Kevin Pike, Ms Alina Behan, Executive Manager Corporate and Community Services, Mr Lyndon Mellor, Executive Manager Infrastructure and Development Services. We have no leave previously approved, and we have 10 members of the public present at the meeting. We have questions from the previous meetings. I believe there are nil. Response to unasked questions from the previous meeting, there are nil. And we now open public question time at 5:04 p.m. I have one question here from Mrs Karen Thomas. Do you wish to ask the question or have me read it out?
I'm happy to do that, Mr President. Thank you. Karen Thomas, speaking on behalf of the York Business Association. My question relates to the old hardware site. This area with the tables is now in constant use, and as it seems a major work plan will not be started for some time, I would like to request that 2 umbrellas with weighted bases be provided for the 2 tables in this area now that the weather is warming up, to give some protection and encourage people to keep using this great space. This could be provided for under $500 from our local Mitre 10, and I'm happy to organise and secure the umbrellas to the bases if required. This would be a great service for our locals and visitors alike.
And thank you for your question, and I'll read the response. As has been mentioned to you in previous advice, the Shire will investigate the procurement of high-quality, commercial-grade umbrellas for installation, taking into consideration the potential timing of the development occurring at the adjacent site. The previous umbrellas were removed following significant deterioration caused by prolonged exposure to the environmental elements, rendering them inoperable. In considering replacements, the Shire will conduct an assessment of suitable commercial-grade umbrellas for installation. So we could just wait until we've done that investigation, then we'll go ahead. But
I think the problem when I've had previous discussions is that this won't be done.
okay, only one question.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions?
I do.
If we could have them, if you'd like to come to the microphone, ask your question. I hope you've got it in writing.
I don't, but can I do that afterwards?
You got it in writing?
It's very brief. Is that okay? My name's Claire Springbett.
What is your question? Who are you? Sorry.
My name is Claire Springbett. I'm a ratepayer. I just had two brief questions, if I may. Thank you for the opportunity. One was, when will the 2025-26 budget be released? Please, it's not on the website, and I just was wondering. I noted that previous years it usually comes out about August-ish.
Okay, well, I'll ask the CEO if he could provide an answer to the question.
Okay, and do you want me to throw in question two, and then I'll let Chris
Very
respond
well.
to both? And then question two was just what, if Chris could just explain what information is available to councillors when you are doing your rates determination and having that conversation. Are councillors provided with information on valuations as a general?
I'll ask the CEO if he could
undertaking.
answer that question,
Thank you.
please. If you could, Mr. CEO.
Thank you, through the Chair. I will get the 25-26 budget uploaded to the website for your review as a priority. With regard to the second question, it is quite a long process that we have a number of workshops with the Council in regards to setting budget, setting projects, setting and outlining the informing documents such as asset management plans, workforce plan, council plan, which basically are our contract with the community of what they would like to see us achieve, and basically determine, I suppose, what the gap is needing funding through rates. The UV is always one for high discussion by council in regards to setting a rate in the dollar. And with the significant valuation this year, or average increase through UV, the council determined for the administration not to increase the rate in the dollar for the UV based on the fact that it was such a high increase on average of almost 24%. Notwithstanding that, it is quite a battle to balance the aspirations of the community in keeping up our operational maintenance on our assets versus these rather extreme jumps in UV valuation on an annual basis. And we will be asking maybe the ministers of local government and the ministers for lands to try to consider future strategies for the UV valuations, considering how much they impact, because obviously an asset value doesn't always reflect a monetary increase in bank accounts. So that's a piece of work that we're, as an administration, going to work on in consultation with actually a couple of farmers who have been discussing that with us. But what I can say is the process for budget adoption and rates are try to align with our long-term financial plan, which basically does sort of provide that guidance of what it could be, but obviously to a degree with what potential impacts could be. And There's always some discussion, questions and direction from council with high and low rate in the dollars for the administration go away and test and come back and sort of see what the rate return is based on the variations of what that rate in the dollar is.
Very well. And someone else had a question? Marwick? Oh, sorry.
Right, should know my name by now.
I think so too. I have to
Didn't
smack
think
myself.
I'd stand here again. My first question is, due to the trouble getting
Could you
information...
just mention
sorry.
your name?
Oh, Darlene Barrett.
Thank you.
First question is, due to the trouble of getting information and requirements, does the Shire of York have a problem with growth in the Shire?
And that's your question. Very well. Mr. CEO, would you like to answer that?
Thank you, through the chair. No.
Okay. The second question is, with the current homeless and rental situation in York and the moral duty of care to its constituents, for those wanting to take advantage of the Minister Beasley's change to living on their land for 24 months, is the Shire going to be proactive in developing a policy to living on land for 24 months as soon as possible and including stakeholders in the policy in order to address these issues?
CEO?
Thank you, through the chair. Yes, we are in the process of developing that policy. We will be obviously involving stakeholders from the regulatory side to ensure that the policy aligns with our planning strategy and planning documents and state government policy. We need to make sure we're giving effect from state level down to local level. So yeah, what we will be doing is ensuring that there is also a review of our scheme, which is up for minor review as well, which trying to incorporate improving or opening up the ability for housing developments, particularly when we've got a large area of the town, in town site particularly, restricted by heritage, and not take away from heritage, but to allow a level of construction of housing to support the need or shortage, which is positive for the town as well. So my last comment will be that it's super important that we assess applications as they come in and try to support those, and we also need to be the determiner of applications. So our level of support has to be to a certain level of guidance, not advice, so we don't maybe upset people who do put an application in and for some reason are asked for further information or declined. So you know, we've got to be careful that we do make decisions, and we're there to guide, but we're not there to advise.
Okay.
Thank you
Do
very
want
much.
a copy of that?
If you could please, darling. Obviously there's land out there which could be developed, but it needs the infrastructure to go in as well, power, water and so forth, for people to be able to build houses. No further questions? Then I'll close question time at 5:14 p.m. Applications for leave of absence, we have nil. Any petitions, Mr. CEO? Nil. Presentations, nil. Deputations, nil. Delegates' reports. Councillor Smythe has sent a report in. We have a mover for a recommendation there for the confirmation of the minutes of a previous meeting held on the 26th of August.
Councillor Smythe moves.
Councillor Smythe moves.
Councillor Gibbs seconds.
Gibbs seconds. Anyone wish to debate? No. I'll put the motion. All in favour? It's carried. 3-4-0. Announcements by the presiding member without discussion. There's a list of the events that I've attended. For noting, the officers' reports. Now we have the first item, SY 110 of 0925, the multi-year funding acquittal for the Wheatbelt Arts and Events Incorporated, the Writers' Festival 2025. The recommendation is there. Does anyone have any queries or questions? No? We have a mover and a seconder, and then we can...
Councillor Gibbs moves.
Councillor Gibbs moves.
Councillor Wright seconds.
Councillor Wright seconds. Does anyone wish to move any amendments or debate the issue? Nil? Then I'll put the motion. All in favour? That's carried. 4-0. Our next item is SY 111 of 0925, the proposal for the Shire of York management of the York Christmas Festival. There's a recommendation there. Does anyone have any questions regarding the recommendation? Yes, Councillor Smythe.
My question is at point 4, where it says reallocates the remaining multi-year funding from the York Christmas Festival Inc. of $16,750 to GL 13150 Festivals and Events. My question is, if that money is going back just into the big pie, will there be a separate GL for the Christmas event so that we can track how much it's going to cost?
Mr CEO, can you answer the question?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Through the Chair, there's no intention to establish a separate GL to manage the Christmas event. It can be managed in the existing account, and the proposed event will have its own budget as per the resolution amount, which can be tracked and then put back to that GL.
Any further questions? And perhaps if someone would be prepared to move the recommendation. Councillor
Smythe
moves.
Councillor Gibbs seconds.
Anyone wish to speak against the recommendation? Then I'll put the motion. All in favour, say aye. Raise your hands. That's carried 4-0. Our next item is SY 112 of 0925, a review of our workforce plan of 24-25. The recommendation is there. Does anyone have any questions of the workforce plan? Councillor Smythe.
I have questions.
You may ask your question.
Okay. Under the key actions of the workforce plan, under 1.3, can you please explain what does enhance volunteerism mean?
CEO, do you hear the question?
I did, thank you, Councillor, through the Chair. What that means, it's about strengthening how we attract, support and retain volunteers and make it easier and more rewarding for them to be involved in community life. Volunteerism is an area that is on decline, so the best way we can be a volunteer organisation of choice, that's what it means by enhancing volunteerism.
I have a number of questions.
Very well, if you would ask your questions one at a time.
So the next question is under 2.2.1.3, the containers for change, will that be, it's intending to give it to a community group, which will that be moved from the depot, i.e. the shed?
CEO, can you answer the question?
Yeah, I can through the Chair. Just to be a point of clarification there, there's no decision yet. The workforce plan says investigate and get council decision on it. So there's no decision to do anything as yet, apart from investigate the potential outsourcing of what is a money earner that is utilised already by a community group. So at this time, there's no determination whether to move, keep or the shed.
So I take it that a report will be presented to the council once the investigation has been done.
That is correct.
Thank you. Councillor Smythe, next question.
My next
You have one?
question is the CRC opening hours have been reduced. Has there been any negative feedback from the community regarding that?
Mr CEO, can you answer that?
I can. I can from as far as I'm aware. No, I've not received anything at my level, and I have not received anything through the staff at this point, whether they've passed that on or not, or just managed it at the face. So, no, not I'm aware of.
And my next question is the YRCC has got reduced opening hours. Can the Shire of York do that if we've got an arrangement in place with the bowling club?
Mr CEO?
Through the chair, it would be as per the arrangements with the bowling club and nothing beyond that.
My next one is 2.1.3 again. It says cease curbside pickups. Does that mean both the green waste and the other waste that's offered? Because I know that the other waste wasn't offered this year, we only picked up green waste. Is the intention to not have any green waste pickups as well?
Mr CEO?
Thank you. Through the chair, no, it would continue with green waste, but there's obviously general waste can be taken to the land transfer, plus you also get a free bin as well annually.
I'm sorry about this, but I have a couple more. Cease daily maintenance inspections. Of what?
CEO?
Thank you. Through the chair. For example, let's use public toilets. We have cleaners. We don't need to also do an inspection. So it's just better use of resourcing rather than doing every day. Someone going through, someone doing a cleaning can report an issue. We don't need to double allocate resources to inspect.
Okay, and what does reprioritise cleaning from staff areas mean?
CEO?
Thank you. Through the chair, it means staff can clean their own desks.
Next question.
Yes, 2.1.5. I thought our IT was already outsourced. This in the financials for July and August of this year, that's within this agenda, we have paid Think Project a monthly fee of $9,649.89. Focus Networks for July, $9,463.67, and for August, $15,350.12. In Focus, we've paid a 12-month fee of $14,551. Integrity, a 12-month fee of $9,350. And Market Creations, a 12-month Council Connect of $17,908. That totals $76,271 that we've just paid. Isn't that already outsourcing our IT?
CEO?
Yeah, so basically a lot of software, tech support, website support, things that are quite specialised to have carry internally, but we still have part of a role doing internal basic IT support. So we still, if someone's having trouble with their laptop or thing, we've got someone who can potentially support them in the initial phase, very basic, but that's the internal IT element to one of our positions.
Last question, no? More to follow.
Sorry, no, because you haven't answered that. No, I have. Sorry. Under the summary of the potential financial impacts, the containers for change, you've already answered that question. The reduced hours for the YRCC CDO, I thought this position was reduced in 24-25. But it says it's going to be reduced in 25-26.
CEO?
So to the chair, This is a review of an already established workforce plan. That's a carryover from the previous workforce plan. That hasn't changed. That has been affected, and we are moving forward. So, like we said that when we had the workshop, this workforce plan is an update on the one that we've already in place. That has already been managed and already been impacted, so that work has already been undertaken.
And 1.1.2, the interim waste education partnership with the Shire of Northern. What does it? Could I have some more information on that, and what are the possible operating costs?
CEO.
Thank you, through the chair. This is just an exploratory look at this time. What we do have in the out years is a environmental and sustainability position. We had some very, very, very early discussions with the Shire of Northern because they employ an officer in this respect. Personally, I don't think I would be wanting to pursue that, but I think that will be determined by the new council and the new administration.
And my last question was, the swimming pool duty manager is going to be have reduced FTE. Does that mean we're going to have reduced operating hours?
Mr. CEO.
Thank you. That's a long string to pull there, councillor. This is based on review and need, and pool hours won't be affected.
Thank you.
Right, after that, any further questions? Councillor Gibbs.
Councillor Gibbs speaking. Just a couple of quick ones. On the page that says summary of potential financial impacts under section 2.1.3, transfer of containers for change to community group. My understanding is that this has no direct financial implications, as I recall positions being funded, but will free up existing resources. Can we get more context around that and a little bit more certainty on that statement, please?
CEO.
So the containers for change income covers the cost, but it does take up about 0.8 of an FTE. So what that does release is 0.8 of an FTE to be allocated elsewhere potentially in the organisation. If it was outsourced, obviously there's a base limit of funding that's allocated for that, which is recovered through the containers for change. So it just depends what that 0.8 would be reallocated to, depending how it would affect budget. So this is something that would need to be explored and reported back, whether that 0.8 becomes part of that environmental sustainability role. You would suspect that would probably be a higher level role, so there'd still be a shortfall potentially to make up in budget to cover, say, a higher level. So, but the FTE count is 0.8 that we could reallocate.
Thank you.
No further questions? Councillor Wright, you must have one, surely. No questions? Okay, well, we have a recommendation. Is someone prepared to move the recommendation? Councillor Wright.
Councillor Wright moves.
Second? No seconder? I'll second the recommendation. That's been moved and seconded. Anyone wish to speak against it?
Yeah, Councillor Gibbs will speak against it.
Okay.
And foreshadow a motion, please.
Right. That being the case, I'll... well, I'm assuming that we are going to vote on it now, so... Someone to speak for it? Councillor Wright. Councillor Wright, do you wish to speak?
No, I'll just keep going and I'll have a final word. No, I don't have a final word. Yes, I do have a final word. Yep.
I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Sorry.
Seconder gets to speak, which is you.
Well, I have nothing to say other than we've heard all the responses to the questions, and I believe we have sufficient information here to look at our workforce plan for the next 4 years. So it's all based on operational issues, so I'm more than happy to see the motion go through. So I'll now, Councillor Gibbs.
Councillor Gibbs speaking. Thank you, and I agree with those sentiments from the presiding member, and I agree with the answers provided by the CEO. But based on the multitude of questions from Councillor Smythe, and given that we're reviewing this workforce plan, I think it might be worth taking this one away, tightening it up a bit, and passing it at a future date. So I think that this one, you know, what we're doing is reviewing a workforce plan here. I think that overall the plan is good, but there are some questions in there that I think could be tightened up. There are some statements in there that I think could be confusing. If we're reviewing it, let's really get this one right and make sure that we're putting something out there that'll push us forward in a meaningful way and push us forward in a way that's understandable.
Very well. I'm prepared to have a... Pardon? Anyone else want to speak for it? No? No one else want to speak against? Then I'll put the motion back to the mover. Councillor Wright.
This is Councillor Wright here. Last week I raised a few questions about this idea, and meaning that through the briefing meeting, this is the way questions need to be raised, and we look at all that, and every point that I was raised was answered in some way, in a positive way. But I left that meeting with this void that I saying hasn't been fully looked at. I haven't got the whole picture, and I would say that it may need to look at it again, going down the track, and see what we can do about it with the new people coming in, because with new councillors in, with new ideas, and they might have a different view than what we have.
That ends debate. I'll now put the recommendation as printed. Those in favour? 1 against, 3 against, therefore it is lost. Lost 3-1. Now you foreshadowed another motion.
Councillor Gibbs speaking. That's correct. My foreshadowed motion.
If we could just wait till Abby gets everything down here. Are we right over there?
I'd like to propose that we go to option 2 as listed in the report, the officer's recommendation. Option 2 being Council could choose to specify further information to be included in the reviewed workforce plan and direct the CEO to represent the updated workforce plan at a future meeting. I propose that we have another look at this one at the November OCM. Sorry. Okay. Fair enough. New council, I propose we bring this one back in December, taking note of some of the questions that have been raised tonight at the OCM.
So you are moving option 2?
Correct.
If you would read that out, please. Option 2, Council could choose to specify further information to be included in the reviewed workforce plan and direct the Chief Executive Officer to represent the updated workforce plan at the December OCM. Do you have a seconder?
Can I just make a small change to that? The word could choose.
you're happy with that modification?
I'm happy with that modification, yes. Thank you.
Moving,
I will move that one.
second.
I'm happy to second it.
Any further discussion, councillors? Anyone wish to speak against the new motion? No, then I will put the motion. Those in favour? Against? That's carried 4-0. I'll let you just get it all sorted out, Abby, before we move on. No, we'll fix it later. Okay, fix it up later. Okay, the next item is SY 113 of 0925, Information Statement 2025-26. The recommendation is written there. Have anyone wish to ask any questions about the information statement? Nil. Someone prepared to move?
Councillor Smyth, happy to move.
Councillor Gibbs, seconds.
Move Councillor Smyth, second Councillor Gibbs. No one wants to speak against. And I'll put the recommendation. All in favour? That's the motion, so it's carried 4-0. We have SY 114 of 0925, the Shire of York, December, January closures, 25-26. There's a recommendation there. Anyone have any questions about the closures? Bearing in mind these will be publicised so that everyone's aware of what's going on. Have someone want to move the recommendation?
Councillor Wright moves the
Councillor Wright
recommendation.
moves.
Councillor Gibbs, seconds.
Gibbs seconds. You want to debate? No. Then I'll put the motion. All in favour? It's carried 4-0. We move on to the next item. SY 115 of 0925, the minutes and recommendations of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee meeting held on the 9th of September. The recommendation is there, quite extensive. Do we have anyone to ask any questions about this? No. Then someone prepared to move? Councillor Smyth?
Councillor Smyth, happy to move.
Councillor Smyth moves. Councillor Gibbs seconds.
Councillor Gibbs, seconds.
Then I'll want to speak against any item or part thereof. Very well. Well, I'll put the motion. All in favour? It's carried 4-0. We move on to the next item is 116 of 0925, the report on councillor attendance at the Walga Transport and Roads Forum. This was attended by myself. Anyone have any questions? Nil. Anyone prepared to move?
Councillor Gibbs moves.
Gibbs moves.
Councillor Wright seconds.
Wright seconds. Anyone want to speak against it? No. Then we'll put the motion. All in favour? 4-0. The next item is SY 117 of 0925, our financial report for July 25. The recommendation is there. Anyone have any questions regarding the recommendation? Councillor Smyth, you have a question?
I do. The surveyor fees, the building surveyor, we seem to have paid quite a few lots of fees in there. do we get them back? Their fees for surveying, like 60 Knox Road and various other places, Talbot Road, do we get to claim those fees back?
Mr CEO.
Thank you, through the Chair. Some of the fees are recoverable through the statutory building permit fees, which is based on the works values. But what we're paying for is a person, so that's different. So while we might recover some, we're not recovering the actual cost of the contractor to provide that service.
Any further questions, councillors? No. The recommendation is printed in front of you. Do we have any, someone prepared to move?
Councillor Gibbs will move it.
Councillor Gibbs moves.
Councillor Wright seconds.
Councillor Wright seconds. Anyone wish to move any amendments? No. Then I'll put the motion. All in favour? It's carried 4-0. As we move to the next item, SY 118 of 0925, investments for July 25. The recommendation is there. Anyone have any questions? No. Then I'll ask for a mover.
I was going to move the motion.
So it's been moved by Councillor Wright, seconded
Councillor Gibbs.
by Councillor Gibbs. Anyone have any amendments? No. Then I'll put the motion. All in favour? It's carried 4-0. Our next item is SY 119 of 0925, the financial report for August 2025. You have a question? You may ask your question.
Thank you. Under the explanation of the material variances, it says the CRC DPERD funding incorrectly allocated. It was in July and then again in August. Will that continue throughout the year, or does it get fixed?
Mr. CEO.
Thank you. The IE code allocation will be corrected prior to the next month reporting to Council.
Any further questions then? No. We have the recommendation. Is someone prepared to move the recommendation? Councillor Smythe.
Councillor Smythe moves.
Councillor Gibbs.
Councillor Gibbs seconds.
Anyone speak against it? No. Then I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour? It's carried 4-0. We roll along to SY 120 of 0925, our investments for the month of August 2025. The recommendation is there. Anyone have any questions? No questions? You're moving, are you, Councillor Smythe?
Councillor Smythe's happy to move.
Thank you.
Councillor Wright was going to second the motion.
Councillor Wright seconds. No one wants to speak against it. Okay, I'll put the motion. All in favour? It's carried 4-0. As we roll along to business, item 10, motions for which previous notice has been given, nil. Questions from members without notice. Councillors, do you have any questions? No, no questions. Item 12, business of an urgent nature introduced by a decision of the meeting. Nil. Now we have some late reports. The officer's recommendation. Oh, confidential reports. Sorry, it says late, but never mind. So, are we agreeable to accept these confidentials? Oh, well, okay, we're up to item 13 then.
That's
Okay. Matters for which the meeting may be closed. Does anyone wish to debate either of these issues? No debate. Therefore, I don't see any reason to close the meeting to the public. So if someone's prepared to move. Councillor Wright.
That's all right, mate.
Sorry. The item, the recommendation is that Council considers the confidential reports listed below. SY121 of 0925. Outstanding rates and charges. So you feel we should throw the public out? Yeah, well. But you still need to read the title. Right, I see. So the matter is SY121 of 0925, confidential outstanding rates and charges, payment agreements. Is someone prepared to move?
Councillor Wright moves the motion.
Councillor Wright moves.
Councillor Gibbs will second.
Gibbs seconds. Oh, any questions, councillors? Nil? No, we can't. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Carried 4-0. And the gallery don't have to come back. And I'll now read the recommendation. This matter is considered to be confidential under section 5.23 brackets on 2 brackets off B and C of the Local Government Act 1995, and the Council is satisfied that discussion of this matter is in right. Okay. That with regard to the outstanding rates and charges payment agreements, Council 1 approves the application for a payment agreement as presented in the confidential appendix 1 and notes that any default on agreement may result in debt recovery action. And we voted on that. It's carried 4-0. Yep, we're up to item 14. And I will close the meeting at 5:48, is it? Or 5:40? 5:48. Thank you for your attendance, your questions, and wish the candidates all the best on the 18th, and thank the councillors who will be remaining here for their services to the town Shire of York, and wish everyone a good evening.
Thank you, sir.